Hey, what's good? Welcome to Dat'S-A-Rapp-Media podcast. It's your host, Nuts Mag. It's a media podcast show that features various talents in music and media entertainment. Right here with me, I have Jay Menace, straight out Chicago. He talk about life in the streets as well as his music. So check it out, enjoy, leave a comment below. So tell the world, who is Jay Menace?
I'm an artist, I'm a father, I'm an actor, I'm an entertainer, I'm a boss, I'm a CEO. I'm just a man that wear many different hats, but everybody gonna know me as an artist before anything.
How was it growing up in Chicago?
I mean, well, I spent 15 years of my life in and out of homeless shelters, so life was interesting, but I never viewed it as tough. That was just my norm. So I just learned a lot, bro. Like, the streets taught me a lot, and I was one of the rare ones that I just took all the lessons, and I bring that into every room that I step in. So I grew up without nothing, and so I appreciate what I got now.
You always hear the negative stuff that goes on in Chicago. Do you mind sharing some of the positive stuff that goes on as well?
Absolutely. It's a lot going on in Chicago. It's a lot to do in Chicago. It's good people in Chicago. It ain't no place like Chicago, in my opinion. And I've traveled around. You'll never get a more diverse group of people. People ain't it ain't about no nonsense, but it's good people here for the most part. Like, even though you only hear about the bad stuff, it's good people here. In every hood and outside of the hood too.
Who was you listening to on the radio as a child growing up?
Eminem, Tupac, Biggie for sure, DMX, T.I. How deep we supposed to go with this? Those like my top, but we can keep going. Okay. Twister, Ye, you name it. Every artist out of Chicago.
So has any of the artists that you just named influenced you to start writing?
Not to start. Like, music itself influenced me to start rapping. Who influenced me during my career and helped me elevate probably was Pac and Eminem the most.
Okay. For your skills to start developing more, were you writing every day?
I was, actually. I did write every day. I went through a period where I would write a song a day, and I would randomly pick the beat. So, I would challenge myself with different beats, different titles, and I got to the point where whatever the title of the beat was, that's what I wrote about. Okay. Because I wanted to be able to make it where my writing could be diverse. It's kind of how I got where I am.
Do you remember the first song that you ever wrote?
Oh, man. First song. Yeah. I don't remember the verse. I do remember the song, though. I remember it started like, it's erratic, I spit static, people panic, they frantic, the hit is savage, spit ravages, brain damage. Mind you, I was in 8th grade, and I'm looking up all these words in the dictionary thinking I need to be extra lyrical, so nobody knew what the hell I was talking about. But I remember that's how it started.
Usually when people write, writer's block come into play. Does that happen to you? If so, how do you overcome it?
Yeah, writer's block happen all the time. Like, I overcome it. Sometimes you got to come back to it. But that's where writing every day help too, because you're going to have times where you don't feel like writing, but the job got to get done. It's a job. It's your career. I might have a deadline. So I wanted to train myself to fight through it. Like, even though I got writer's block, sometimes it's okay to come back to it. Sometimes you just got to sit down and push through it and see what comes out on the other end. So writing every day actually helps with writer's block. Like, now it's hard for me to get writer's block.
So before you actually took off with your career, I mean, you was in the group. Can you talk about the group you was in?
Rumors. Relying upon music over regular you-know-what, Big love, rest in peace to Goonie the God, man. That's one of the group members. We lost him last year. Definitely came up with that title. But, yeah, I started that in 2015 after leaving Universal. And my theory behind that group was I wanted to take, 4 other individuals outside of myself in the city that had a following and stage presence. And I'm like, if we all 5 of us are pushing for the same thing, we can't fail. And we did our thing. Unfortunately, we still family to this day, but it didn't work out. Everybody kind of split ways. But we had $1 million deal on the table, and
Oh,
That
wow.
made my buzz. I'm not who I am without that group, for sure.
Oh, so y'all definitely did some damage out in the streets.
Oh, yeah, we did 5. We were doing 3 or 4 shows a week, every week,
Okay.
like, consistently.
Do y'all put out any mixtapes or albums?
That's the crazy part. Everybody think we got a lot of music. Nah, we had one song on the radio, and we just performed all our other songs. As a total group where all 5 of us are living, we only did probably 7 songs total.
Okay. So how long were y'all
people heard
together?
us so much in shows.
Okay. So how long were y'all together before you went doing your solo thing?
Well, Rumors went down to 2 people. So Rumors, the Rumors brand and name went on for about a year and a half, and then I started doing my solo thing.
Okay. So when you started over with solo, what was your next move?
My next move was just restarting, man. Restarting and rebuilding my name and rebuilding people, getting used to people hearing me solo, and being a solo artist. So I literally tore it all down, kind of learned the business the right way in and out. And I went from just performing all the time, which is people were used to seeing, to actually getting behind the scenes and learning what I needed to make money off of my music and what audience needs to hear it and where is it rotating at, and, you know, what are people looking for that buy music, because can't just go and perform it all the time. So that's really what it was. And that's what I focused on. That's how I got here.
For people that's trying to get in the game, can you explain to them how important it is to know the business? Because people think it's an easy ride, and it's not.
To be independent, you said?
No, learn the business before they get involved.
I got you. Learn the business. No, you definitely want to learn the business. It's super important to learn the business, because you're gonna waste a lot of time, money, and energy, and you're gonna do it regardless. But learn the business to the best of your ability, so people don't screw you over. Because everybody looking for something, nothing is for free. Everybody that come around you, if you got any talent or going somewhere, they want a part of it. So definitely know what you're doing and keep people around you that get your best interest. That would be, that would be my number one thing I would tell people.
Okay. So how did you get signed with Def Jam? Because that's a major, a lot of legendary artists from there.
Yeah, man. Like, it was, don't. It sounds better than it was. They ain't do nothing with me. Let's be clear. I ain't trying to cap with that. Like, so I was, I was like 19, and I was just with my brother. We was putting out some music. I was popping off like my little mixtapes. Somebody got a hold of it and was like, came to the table. One of the A&Rs from Def Jam happened to be here, brought us to the table, and particularly signed me and my brother. And it was more to kind of test us out. That's where I learned about opt-out clauses and things like that. And it was short-lived, bro. Like, it was like 6 months, and they dropped my contract. Basically, I made like maybe five or six songs. I didn't get a lot of studio time. They didn't really fly me out like that. But I got a chance to learn the business. They put me on a couple of shows. I did a couple of things, and that's kind of what it was.
So basically, nothing was released while you was on Def Jam.
Nah, nothing was released from Def Jam. Nothing was released from Def Jam. At least not on that end. Nothing that they want to get behind.
So from there, you went the independent route?
Yeah, went the independent route a while. Probably for about another 4 or 5 years. I wasn't really taking it serious at that point, because I just had my daughter, and I was trying to get out of the streets, and I was trying to figure that part out because I wasn't used to that. So I literally went on like a hiatus for some years, and then I started dabbling back in it again. And as soon as I did, I was working out a deal with Universal. Now with them, they were highly interested, and I was, I was actually making an album, but the deal was garbage. Like, basically, they were trying to pay me like $200,000 for like 3 albums, and they owned the rights to my music. So this is where not knowing the business and being excited about money got me in trouble, because I was like, okay, like, that's dope. I ain't never been offered that much money. Let's go. Signed up, but I did have an opt-out clause because I was taught I always had it. And basically, we parted ways because once I figured out I was in a terrible deal, I opted out and they kept my music. So they own the rights to everything that I did there. But that was cool. Better that than being tied up,
Yeah. So you had a hit single, Just Getting Hot. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, Just Getting Hot. That's actually one of the singles that I released right before I dropped this album. I was just going through it, man. Like, I was going through that period where I was like writing every day. And it's just motivation music. Like, basically at the end of the day, it's like, I forget being satisfied or feeling like you did something, get uncomfortable, and get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because I'm just getting hot. I feel like that every time. No matter what I do, even when people come up to me and feel like I'm established, I'm like, nah, I'm just getting hot. It's like the chip on my shoulder.
So talk about the album that you released.
So the album I released is A Night to Purge. And I released this about 2 months ago now. My best-selling album to date, well over 200,000 streams just on Spotify alone. What can I say, man? Like, Finesse, One of a Kind, Chains, these are like the lead singles off of the album. It's going crazy right now, man.
I saw one of your videos, which was dope.
Okay. What video you check out?
I know I forgot the title, but it has some females on there.
Oh, Chains. Yeah, that's off the album.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely spin on that joint though.
I appreciate it, bro.
So what do you feel was your favorite track on that album, and why?
Grace, by far, because it talks about my life. When I say the raw, rugged 100, you want to get a real live visual or play-by-play what it was like growing up where I was, and Grace is that track. Everything from microwaving bathwater, because we ain't had no heat, to, what it was like to just go to school every day. And, how I saw my environment through my eyes. So, Grace by far.
Okay. Do you have any collabs with that album?
For sure.
Okay.
Shout out to Holly B. Boss. On 2 of the tracks, actually, Finesse and One of a Kind, 2 biggest singles on the album. Shout out to Jay Lyric, the singer on One of a Kind. Shout out to Very Special Ed. Not only did he feature on one of the songs called Henny, but he actually produced the album as well, or co-produced the album. So big shout out to and my boy Fox Montana, of course.
So is there anybody that signed or unsigned that you like to work with?
Man, I want to work with Ace Hood. Of course, I want to work with M. Everybody, that's the obvious answer because he inspired me. But Eminem, definitely want to work with Ace Hood. As far as unsigned, I worked with pretty much everybody I wanted to work with unsigned. Signed, I want to work with everybody though. I don't want to limit it to like nobody in particular, man. The dream would be like Eminem, but outside of that, I'm open to everybody. I don't really think it's too many people I would say no to. But I'm going to try to kill you on the track, so I always say people should be hesitant to get on with me because I'm going to try to chew your head off. I don't care who you is, Eminem included.
Okay. All right. So how'd you, like the stage performance, like as far as like the crowd be? Do it be crazy?
Oh, yeah. Nah, it's, again, shout out to Goonie. Standing next to him made me elevate my stage presence. In fact, before I was known for the music, I was known for performing. So I take it serious. I want to be the best performer there every time. So, yeah, my shows are lit. 100%. You ain't been to a J Menace show, you got to get to one for sure. I deliver.
Okay. So what cities have you traveled to perform there?
Man, a little bit of everywhere. So different cities inside of Arizona, Phoenix, Scottsdale. Been out to Cali, been out to, of course, all around Chicago, of course, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Detroit. Been down south, of course, Atlanta, different parts of Florida, out in Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Man, a little bit of everywhere. I'm leaving places. I'm leaving places out for sure, but I've been around.
Okay. So you're looking forward to do stuff out the country?
I have not stepped out of the country to perform, no. But I've been invited, but it just, I get skeptical. Like when people start inviting you out and they like, yeah, we're going to bring you and it's going to be all our people. I'm like, I don't know. So if I didn't have the right people around me or they don't approve my people to be with me, then I'm not doing it. I don't want to end up in a hostage situation or something.
Yeah.
Something wild.
So what's your feelings on the rap game right now?
It's in an interesting space, man. It's in a space where I feel like ain't nobody really on the throne right now. It's just kind of a free for all, kind of that Wild Wild West thing. It's a little bit oversaturated, but it's a lot of talent in it too, man. So I don't think everybody. I think we're beyond the mumble rap phase, thank God. Like, so it ain't really that no more. Everybody's just bringing a little style to it, doing something a little different with it. So it's going where it's supposed to go. It's evolving. Nothing stays the same, right?
So do you like it from when you was growing up, listening to it, or do you like the rap phase now?
That's not fair. Of course, I grew up in the best era of music. So 90s music, period, is hands down the best era of music. Like, it's no better era. That being said, this ain't close. No, this ain't close. So now I would never even disrespect anybody from the 90s and say this is up there. This is just his own little phase, though. This ain't the worst phase of music. I say that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The 90s was my best ever, especially like Pocket Big was alive.
100. It wasn't no better rap, R&B, rock, wherever you want to go with it. 90s had that.
Oh yeah.
If you was given the power to make changes in the rap game, what would it be?
Given the power to make changes in the music game, period. I don't know, man. Like, I ain't never been asked that one before. Power to change the music game, period. Just, I put it this way. I will open it up so people could be more themselves. I think it's a lot of people, like, you have to be put in a position where you got to follow a trend unless you, like, got uber talent, People like to sell you that stuff about, hey, look, you can be who you want to be and you can still make it. Nah, it don't really work like that unless you are like extremely talented, like a Kendrick Lamar or something like that. So I feel like that's why so many people follow trends, because people you only gonna sell what people buying. So if I could change anything about the music game, I wish we had more diversity in that sense. Personality-wise, cadence, and, just being real students of the game, because that's kind of what music was. Everybody was just coming from a different standpoint, even if we talking about the same thing. And we don't really got that as much no more.
Okay. So in your own words, what are the pros and cons of being in the music industry?
The pros of being, wait, when you say the industry, you mean like being signed, or you just saying being a part of a period?
Being part of a period.
Well, the pros is, you get to, if you love it, the way I love it, I mean, you get to do something you love, and you get to see how it moves people and how your words have an impact. And we all do it for that lifestyle too. Like I don't shun away from that. I don't really care about fame, but I do care about the money and what that money provides and what it means for my family and my kids and their kids. So that's the pros. You know, the cons, of course, it does come with fame. It does come with less privacy. It does. This is a lot of work. You're a business, so it's a lot of time away from other stuff. And after you invested so much time, it's like, you know, it can be consuming. And it's a lot of, how do I say this without, you know, going crazy? It's a lot of phoniness, you know. It's a lot of fake. It's a lot of phony. So that comes down to, like, watching your circle. You can't really trust nobody. Like, for real, you really can't trust nobody. Like, it's, you know, at all times you got to keep your eyes on everybody because, again, everybody wants something from you. It could be everybody from your brother to, you know, the artist you just met. Like, you got to keep people around you with their intentions up here. So that's challenging sometimes, but it is what it is, you know.
Okay. So, did you have more fun being signed or being independent?
Independent, for sure.
Okay.
When you sign, you held, it's no freedom. You know, when you're independent, you have freedom. You know, you have complete autonomy to create the brand and mold it how you see fit. And if it goes well, it's all accredited to you. And if it goes bad, it's all accredited to you. So it's way better being independent. And you still can make bread.
So what else you got going on? Are you working on something new?
I got a couple things in the making. Got a concert coming up. I can't go too far into that, but a couple concerts coming up. I'm going to be down in Canada for a couple of gigs, and, you know, we're going to be doing our thing down there. L.A., I got some big stuff coming up out there. And, of course, I'm going to keep dropping music. And that's, you know, the focus is just expanding the brand and really hitting on A Night to Purge. We're going to ride that out, man, because that whole album is dope, and it needs to be heard. I need that to be platinum status. So I'm going to keep working, keep making music, of course, but we focusing on elevating to another level. So that's the vision.
Okay. Any advice on people thinking it's easy trying to become a rapper?
Respect the game. That's my advice. Just respect it. Most people don't, but, you know, respect the craft, respect how it started, and if you are, you know, if you're going to call yourself a rapper, then, you know, everybody something till they're around, you know, till around the real thing. Like my people say, everybody crazy till they meet somebody crazy, right? So it's the same thing. If you call yourself a rapper, can you go around real rappers and say that, you know? If not, just respect it like you would anything else.
Okay. So how can people get in contact with you, and how can people get a hold of your music?
I'm on all platforms. So you can catch me on Spotify, SoundCloud, Pandora, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever you want to go. I'm Googleable. Google me. J Space Menace. That's all you need to put in. I promise you I'm popping up. I'm number one. You want to hit me up on IG, it's The Real J Menace. Want to hit me up on Facebook, Real J Menace. Hit me up on Snapchat, Real J Menace. You know, Twitter, Real J Menace. And if you directly want to book me for anything, get in contact with the PR firm. It's Exquisite PR Firm. And you can just hit me up at jmenace23@gmail.com for any inquiries about booking me, and they will get back with you, I promise you, within 24 hours or less.
So before we wrap this up, you got any shout-outs you want to give out?
Man, shout out to my firm. We making moves. So Exquisite PR Firm, and shout out to my family, and of course my daughters. I always shout my daughters out. Jayla, Jaya, and Jelania. And then lastly, man, just I failed to mention this on the last show, and I felt bad. So, again, rest in peace to T.Y., which is my big brother. Lost him last year, and rest in peace to Goonie the guy, bro. I carried him with me wherever I go. So, any interview, I always shout them out. Shout out to you too, bro. I appreciate your time.